Hello, everyone. Okay, so today we're going to do a somatic practice for releasing tension before bedtime. But you can release tension anytime you want. So I like to do this before bed because I am not the most sound sleeper, and so it is helpful for me to release tension before bed and in the morning, actually. Um, so we're going to do a bit of movement from a seated position, and then at the end we will do a short settling somatic meditation. Um, so for this, you're going to be seated. I'm sitting on a meditation cushion. You could be sitting on a chair. You're also going to need a pillow at some point. And then we'll be sitting a lot, but then at the end, I want you to be able to relax. So I'm going to take a bolster and put it up against the wall to relax. You could do that. You can use the back of the chair. You can lay down, but you just want to be comfortable in a position where you can kind of let the body fall into the surface via gravity. Okay. So sometimes when there's tension, like say you've got tension here in your shoulder, you want to go against it and stretch it out. And we're going to do the opposite today. So we're going to do something called pandiculation. Think of it as, when a cat kind of like wakes up from its nap or its sleep and it stretches, right? And it's kind of a contraction that's going into their back. So we're going to lean into the tension and then slowly come out of it. And that way we're teaching the body, well, first of all, the body has tension for a reason. So we're leaning into the tension. And then we're also showing the body slowly how it can come out of tension if it chooses to do so. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to come into the room where we're at. So eyes can be open for this. And I want you to just glance around the room. Look from left to right, and you want to look all the way behind you. Okay? You want to do this just nice and slow. Looking behind you, kind of taking in the room, and then looking the other way and looking behind you. And then coming into a neutral position and find something in the room that's pleasant or interesting or neutral to look at. And looking at that object and just noticing the colors, the textures, how the light hits it, how the shadows are cast. And I don't know, what else can we notice? Is it shiny? Is it dull? It's texture, but just noticing. And noticing any details about it that maybe you didn't notice before. Maybe it's something you see all the time if you're doing this meditation at home or in a room that's familiar to you. And just noticing, coming back to the body a little bit while you're looking at it and noticing how the body feels. Okay, and then just releasing that, give your body a little wiggle, shift your weight back and forth, and notice the weight going from the left to the right. Maybe notice how do you notice that you're rocking back and forth here? What is your sensory experience telling you? Okay. And then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come up into a neutral position. So that should be kind of a relaxed, upright position, not using a lot of muscle to keep yourself in this position. And then we're going to contract the belly and the chest, and we're going to start to kind of and tilt your pelvis backwards, and you're going to roll in and hunch forward, dropping the chin. And you should feel some tension in the chest. Nothing hurts though, and in the belly. Just noticing how that feels. Noticing what it feels like to breathe in this position. And then slowly come out. Millimeter by millimeter, inch by inch, centimeter by centimeter. Almost like you're inflating. and feeling like that tension relax in the chest and the belly and come into that neutral position. And notice what it feels like in this position. How do the shoulders feel? The jaw, the chest, the belly. How does it feel to breathe in this position compared to before? Okay, and then let's go in again. So shoulders roll forward, chest contracts, belly contracts, chin drops. And noticing what it feels like in this position. Noticing what it's like to breathe in this position. And let's slowly come out and up. Noticing how those muscles are relaxing in the front. And letting the shoulders come back into a neutral position. And eyes can be open or closed for this. If it's easier, whatever feels best, you can change it throughout as well. Okay, so noticing the jaw, the shoulders. And as you wait, does anything shift? And the reason we notice so much, it's really important to bring mindful attention to this, because then we can create those new neural pathways in the brain, in the body. And remember what it feels like. The body remembers what it feels like to come out of tension. We can go into tension and we can come out of tension. We don't have to stay there. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the opposite. So this time the pelvis is going to tilt forward, your back is going to arch. I like to kind of clench my fists and bring them back. This reminds me of when I did karate when I was a kid. And you're going to squeeze the back. And nothing should hurt. You're just feeling some tension there. Okay, so shoulders are back, feeling tension in the upper back and the lower back. And take a breath there. Notice. And let's let everything relax and come into a neutral position. And just notice that was just a natural breath that came for me. So when our body's relaxing, sometimes there'll just be these spontaneous, deeper, natural breaths that happen. But just let them come up spontaneously. And if they don't, that's okay too. It's just something I like to notice when it happens. So staying here, noticing neutral again. Okay, and let's go back into that arched position. So again, you can clench your fists. I just naturally do that. It's kind of a tense position. Bring the shoulders back, the elbows back, arching the back a little bit. This is almost kind of a combative position. We're leaning into the tension that might be in our back. Holding and not holding the breath though. Breathing normally. And slowly come out. Millimeter by millimeter. Letting go slowly. Noticing all the parts of the body that are relaxing to bring you into this neutral position. And once you're there, just noticing, again, eyes can be open or closed. If your eyes have been closed the whole time, though, I would just open them and take a look around the room every once in a while. Noticing what it feels like to be in neutral. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is kind of similar. So I like to think of this as like my stretch in the morning. But we're going to, you know, that big stretch you do where your whole body kind of twists and you reach out. That's what we're going to do. Okay. So we're going to, again, it's going to be kind of an arch, and it'll just be opposite shoulder to opposite lower, like the opposite side of your lower back. So just, well, let's take the right shoulder back. So twisting. And if you want, you can even reach your arm back too. Coming into a twist. And the chest is out. And again, just feeling a tension there. Nothing should hurt. You can look right behind you as well. Think of that cat stretching first thing in the morning. And slowly come out back into neutral. And just staying here. And just waiting to see what the body does. Okay, let's do that again, going the same way. So we're taking the right shoulder back and twisting. Maybe we reach our arm. Our back is arched in a comfortable way. And remember to breathe. And come out of that slowly. See how slow you can go. Okay, and then waiting in neutral. Maybe if any spontaneous movements come up, go for it. And now we're going to go the other way. So left shoulder back, and we reach back. Look behind you. Arch the back a bit. Again, nothing hurts. And hold that. And just breathe here. And release. Again, slow. Slowly feeling yourself come out of that twist position. And waiting in neutral. All right, last time, let's do it again. Twisting, reach the left arm back, or just twist if it bothers your arm or your shoulder. And slowly release. Again, see how slow you can go here. Really pay attention to what your body has to do or let go of to get back into neutral. Okay, good. And then we're just going to do one shoulder shrug because I just want to fit it in. So we're going to bring shoulders up to the ears. Nothing hurts, but we're squeezing. And hold that. And now, since we're just doing this once, let's like let go so slowly, okay? So release that slow, slow, slow. Notice what it feels like to slowly let go, for your body to slowly relax. How much space there comes to be between your shoulders and ears once they drop. And noticing neutral. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to move into our supported position. So whether that's leaning against the back of your chair, lying down, or maybe you have a similar setup to mine with like with the bolster leaning against the wall, or maybe a pillow. Okay, and lean right back and have your pillow nice and close by because you're going to need it in a little bit. Okay, and we want to let the body be completely held. So letting the body fall into whatever you're leaning on, and then actually like let the head fall back. So it's totally falling into whatever surface and being supported. Okay? And just let yourself settle into that. Let your body slowly just relax and feel the contact of your body against whatever is supporting you. So I'm going to look at the camera, but you can keep your head back. And the first thing I want you to do is just to notice where you might feel any neutral or pleasant sensations in your body as you relax into the surface of whatever is supporting you. So neutral or pleasant. And if it's really hard to find something even neutral, you can go to the tip of your nose because there's just not a lot of tension there. Okay? So finding a spot in your body can be really tiny even. Maybe you like the way your shoulder blades feel with like the pressure that you feel on your shoulder blades as you lean back into that surface. Could you come up with a word to describe the sensation you feel in that area? Maybe it's warm. Maybe it's just, maybe neutral is just the best thing. Maybe there's like a pleasant tingling or pressure or just presence. And then notice if there's a place in your body that has some tension and shift your attention over to the tension. And if this is overwhelming, you can stop, look around the room, remember where you are. And just noticing that tension. And you can always look for a place where there's less tension in the body if that's easier, like a medium or a very light tension, or just to the edge of it instead of right in the center. And just notice something and maybe see if you can come up with a word to describe it, or if you can notice the boundaries of that area. Does it move? Does it feel warm or cold? Okay, and then grabbing your pillow, and you're just going to hug the pillow. And this is a practice I learned from Luis Mojica from Holistic Life Navigation. And so you're just grabbing the pillow and give it a big squeeze. Feel the texture of the pillow as well on your hands. Move your hands around. And then squeeze and release. And then notice the contact that the pillow is making with your chest and your belly. And notice what kind of pressure you want. Maybe you want to squeeze it really tight. Maybe you want it a little bit looser. And notice how you're a little bit sandwiched between the pillow and the surface of what you're leaning on. Remember just to keep your head back and held. And go to that place where there was neutrality before and see how that feels. Has anything shifted there? Is it bigger? Is it smaller? Has it moved? And now move your attention to the place where there was tension. And notice if anything's changed there. And try squeezing the pillow a little tighter while you notice it. And again, if anything is just a little too much, even a little too much, just open your eyes, drop the exercise. Good, and just bring your attention back to the pillow and move your hands around a little bit. Maybe feel the edges of the pillow. Give it a squeeze. Let's give it a tight squeeze. Maybe you want to, if you look at my hands, maybe you want to grab like your forearms and kind of just give a bit of a locked in hug there. And let's just breathe here for a little bit, just normally. You're just taking a rest and noticing what it feels like. Great. And then if your eyes were closed, open them. Glance around the room and notice where you're at. If you're really in your body, bringing your attention out of your body into the room, wiggle your bum. Just gently feel the ground holding you up and supporting you without you even asking. The ground is just there. All right. So I hope that that was helpful, relaxing for you. If you really liked anything in the practice, you can always do more of it. But if you're new to it, just go slow. And if anything is ever uncomfortable, then you can just come out of it. That is all for today, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.